Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, and welcome to the Boom Bar, the Legends series, first of its kind ever. And it's also always a pleasure when you have some extremely young people with me in the studio. When I talk about young, to the left, I have a legend in his own right, and someone that I like to call, but I can't say that now. I'll say it off here.
You're loud.
The one and only Yomi Okbakunle.
I'm glad to be here, and it's glad to start this series with you. It's a wonderful feeling here, being on air back and doing something great that we love to do, taking on the legends, and I'm so very happy that we're starting this series, and I know that our audience are in for a thrill of their life today, and they will be in for a thrill of their life for every series we bring, starting with this great man that we will unveil soon.
Number one, if it was a football team, it would wear jersey number one,
Yes.
and stay between the sticks.
Yes.
But it will have the captain's band
Yes, sir.
because he is definitely number one. And it's an honor and a privilege to be in the presence of greatness. Someone who will never is so humble that he would never allow us say these things that we're saying. Doesn't see himself as anything special, but we know he is. And it's always good when God has blessed someone for you to also tap into the blessings. So that's what we're doing. We're basically tapping into the blessings that we have seen. Every time you meet him, he always has a glow,
Yeah.
a positive glow,
I agree with
a positive aura, And my dad is going to be 81 next month. So he's my dad too, because they are contemporaries, they are age mates.
And the dad of so many.
So my
Giving-
dad
Is giving birth to so many children.
Yomi
So
Okpakule,
many children.
Yomi Okpakule is my dad. Let so many people come here now. They cannot. And
They're hooking up
fondly
everywhere, all over the world.
all over.
Yeah.
Fondly we call him uncle.
Yes.
And it's with respect. That's why when we're doing the design for the graphics, we put it there, like let people know that we're not being rude when we say Uncle Shegs, or Uncle Shego. When we started the publicity, the comments we're getting, Uncle Shegs, Uncle Shegs. People who are even younger than I am, Uncle Shegs. I'm like, yes, it's a fun way of addressing someone that we love so much. So without further ado, Yomi Okpakule, please do the honors.
Ooh, I'm glad to, on behalf of Boom Radio, welcome Pa Segun Abbas Adenuga, popularly known as West Coast, popularly known as Anene. Welcome to the station, sir. Glad to have you.
Thank you very much. I'm grateful to you, and I'm very pleased to be here too.
You clocked 80 just last Monday. How does it feel?
It's a great event, and I think I was celebrated.
So you're happy to see it alive.
Yes.
So you feel it that you're a living legend.
Eh,
You were made to feel it.
Yes.
Not when you passed on,
Yes.
which you can't see.
Yes.
Fantastic.
Because I told people I want to be celebrated at 80, because I want to thank those who celebrated me. If I die, I won't be able to celebrate anybody. I won't be able to thank anybody. Even if you kill 10 cows, it's none of my business.
Yes.
But if you kill just one single cow to celebrate me, it is okay for me. And that was
In your
why-
presence.
Yes, in my presence. So I was very great. I thank so many of my colleagues, and a lot of them, those in the diaspora and around here, they all came round, and then they gave me real.
So still riding on
bash.
that.
Yes.
Still riding on that.
Yeah.
Before we go to the nitty-gritty
Yeah.
of our interview with you, because a lot of people
Yeah.
all over the world want to hear and tap in from the wisdom,
Yeah.
the fountain of wisdom you have, and the legacies of history that you have. But let's still ride on the celebration last Monday.
Yeah.
Can you, I know I was there for a few hours and I left,
Yeah.
but can you let us have a glimpse of who and who were there that you can remember now?
In fact, Yomi Opakunle, you came very early, but not earlier than Mumini Alao.
Wow.
Yes, Mumini Alao was the first caller. He came around 10, 15 or thereabout, and then they came in droves after that. And you led a group of people, stationery stores, supporters, stationery stores supporters.
Yes, so
you came with a sort of rapper to, to show you are still there. And then somebody called me from Canada, maybe some few hours later, to say, we saw you with stationery. I said, I am always stationery stores, whether playing or not playing. We are still there. And then a lot of people, Waidi Akani led another group of people, footballers,
coordinator of Lagos Legends.
Edema Benson, Wasiu Ipaye, football owners, Taiwo Oloyede,
Skipo.
And, in fact, a big brother from Shomolu, Adewale Teluwo, came with about 5 of his wives, and then it was a big bash. So
Teluwo once had a football club back then.
Yes, he had 3 clubs: Ibukun Oluwa, Obanta United, VIP, and Frontliners, and then Verobim, a female team.
Wow.
So they all came round to support me.
Some people celebrated you from a distance too.
Yes, they
Can
did.
you remember some?
They did. My president, Stationery Stores Supporters Group Worldwide, Bayo Oluwake, not only congratulating, he sent money for me to keep my going, and then I'm like in a dreamland, because I never expected such.
What about Larry Zamuje?
Larry did wonderful job. He devoted almost all the day to my program.
Larry.
Yes.
For those of you who might not know, but we know you know, Larry Zamoje, of course, is the MD, CEO of Brilla Sports, Brilla FM, Brilla Press.
Yes.
It's a whole conglomerate.
Yes.
But what he has done is that he has consistently celebrated legends. So we also celebrate Larry Zamoje right here, right now. And thank you for what you did for Pa Segun Adenuga on his birthday last week.
Brilla FM is the first.
In fact, almost about
sports station.
About 6-7 papers that day devoted a page.
They will write up
about you.
For me.
What about Boyega Okegbero?
As usual, as vibrant as ever, he was around to celebrate his dad.
Oh, fantastic. We thank God for your life.
So it was a memorable day, sir.
Oh, it was a memorable day. Right. Nothing can be more memorable.
So for all the people whose names have been mentioned, we say thank you to you. For those people who your names were not mentioned, it's not because we do not think you're important. It's because we do not have all the time. Because I know one thing that Anene or Pa Segs or Uncle Segs would ask is one of the sharpest minds I have ever come across in my entire existence as a human being. He reels out the statistics and the facts and figures. Look at him now. There's no computer in front of him. There's no laptop. There's no phone.
Everything is in it there.
And he was telling us about the 5 clubs that Chief Teluwo owned.
Yes.
Yes. So this is one of the things that people like us are happy about. We're already getting calls on WhatsApp, and even without establishing the fact that we need to take this call, we would like to please just crave your indulgence.
Yes.
We would definitely take your call in a few minutes time, but we would like for us to establish a little bit of background, because a lot of people want to know. Some of us, especially the young people like me, only met Uncle Segs at a certain time.
Yes.
people from Yomi Opakunle's generation also just met him at a certain time. But it goes beyond that time, you know, all the way back to 1942, 17th of January 1942.
Right.
Somewhere on Lagos Island. We want to go through that entire journey,
yes,
to establish the fact that indeed we are in the presence of greatness.
Okay, so let's start the full interview this way. Like we said, we apologize that we can't take your calls now. We will certainly take your calls. However, get the meat as much as we can get from you, and then there's room. We will all take questions from him and pass comments to him. Now, I introduce you as Pa Segun Adenuga. Can you give us your full names beyond the ones I know?
You are perfectly in order, with the exception of the fact that I had another name, Taiwo, or Idowu rather, in my name, but then it is not always. I'm not used to long names, so I contend with.
So you had twins in your family.
Yes.
So you had Idowu.
Yes.
Okay, Adinobu.
Yes.
Adinobu.
Adinobu.
Okay, so when and where were you born?
I was born in Lagos Island in January 17, 1942, to Pa Haruna Banjoko Adenuga and Madam Ramotu Olarami Adenawa. So I grew up in Lagos Island. I became very inquisitive about sports program, and I was virtually everywhere in Lagos Island. At Bombata, at Alakoro, at Faji Boys and Girls Club, at Sheteolu Boxing Club, everywhere.
So which schools did you go?
I went to St. David's School, Laviaji in Lagos. And then I read up to Standard 6 in 1959.
Of that time, oh?
Yes.
Standard 6 in Bayala. Degree
in 1959.
Apologies for those who don't understand.
Yes. When I left school, I took an examination to join Oluyiwa College. I was taken, but then my mother was sick then. They couldn't really pay my school fees then. I had to contend with reading books, doing all sorts of things. Then I applied to be a clerical assistant in the Ministry of Education. I was considered, and then some years later I was posted to Federal School of Science, and then the principal then was R.A. Folami. R.A. Folami was a great man, and then at that place we had an administrative officer with Omishori. So I was reading all sorts of books and then developing myself. I could say I am a self-made man, but then I was reading virtually all books that came my way.
Wow.
Were you
So
getting,
it's good to read.
Yeah.
were you getting the books from a library, or how did you source the books?
Sometimes I go to library. Sometimes I read international Time magazine, Newsweek, and so on and so forth.
And this was in the 50s.
In the late.
And with him in primary school of then,
yes,
he was already reading those magazines.
The
quality of
in
education.
the late 60s, because I remembered I was an assistant clerical officer under Jerome Udoji, and
Udoji.
Yes, Jerome Udoji was the one who was given the order by federal government to review salaries of workers. And then I was under Udoji.
Where? Where was this? Where was this?
A great man. That was 1968.
Where?
In Lagos, at where we know now as Tafawa Balewa Square, the old Parliament building.
Okay.
That was the place. Then I was transferred.
What organization?
Federal Ministry.
No, he had applied and he got the job.
Yes, I applied and I
as
got
a clerical
the job.
officer.
Yes. Then I was just searching for files, looking for names, and then very, very inquisitive at my age. Very, very inquisitive. I want to know what is going on at Onikon Stadium, what is going on at Faji Boys and Guys Club, what is going on at Glover Memorial Hall, where Dr. Nnamdi Azikiwe was a referee, where I watched a boxing tournament in that, I think at the age of 10 or so. So
wow.
Dr. Nnamdi Azikiwe was a referee in Speedy Twitch against a Ghanaian.
Wow.
Yes.
Oh, okay. So the legend, the legend of Speedy,
Yes.
where Dr. Nnamdi Azikiwe was the referee of that bout is true.
Yes.
At some point, the Speedy boxer is a Nigerian.
Yes.
Is it true that Dr. Nnamdi Azikiwe spoke Yoruba to him when the Ghanaian boxer knocked him down?
Yes.
Speedy, did they?
Yes.
Did they?
Yes. Wow. I can confirm that. And then it took Dr. Nnamdi Azikiwe almost 10 minutes to count 10. Zig of Africa will say, 1, Speedy did it now. 2, Speedy did it now. He counted 9, and then 10 took him almost a minute to pronounce 10.
10.
So, and for the first time in Speedy's boxing
Career,
he was knocked out. Speedy, we later became friends, and then jokingly I would say, Speedy did it now. He's an Ijo boy. And then,
So would you say what late Dr. Nnamdi Azikiwe did at that time was patriotism extended to the limit?
yes. Certainly. It was patriotism in the extreme.
Okay, so before I ask the next question, I'd like to encourage all of us. I'd like to encourage us. Please, have a sheet of paper on a biro, or your notebook, or your e-notebook. Because you will get plenty of information from
hit record on your device.
Exactly.
You're listening to us on boomradio.com.ng. If you're watching us on Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook, you can record, save this chat, because this is history in the making. And not every time would we
have him live and we're celebrating. We are glad he's our father. So when did you catch the journalism bug? Or when did journalism, bite you?
I started reading newspapers as far back as 1954.
Wow.
And then, when I was 57, I was in standard 3 or so. Then I started buying newspaper with my money, the money given to me for pocket money or to go to school. I would trek and buy. I would trek and buy West African Pilot.
Wow.
Zig's paper, very large. That if you are not careful when you are reading West African Pilot, if a thief enters your room, you may not know.
You won't know.
So I was so
into it.
Yes, we did. So and then I started developing interest in politics too. So and I became a member of Zikist youth movement under Fashanu. I think he was an Egba man. I don't know, but really know. But then I was so young. At my little age in Lagos Island, and I grew up with people who are NC members. Everybody in Lagos Island were NC members, including Joseph Modupe Johnson, Abubakar Olorunimbe, the first mayor of Lagos, and so on. So everybody in Lagos were not action groupers. They were NCNCers.
Wow.
So I happened to be a member of Zikist youth movement. I think Peter Osugo, my regards to the great man, so was also
a member.
But I grew up to read articles written by Pecos, that is Peter Osugo, articles written by Sakati Numbu, articles written by Sad Sam, who later became Uncle Sam.
Uncle Sam.
He dropped Sad when he became the managing editor of The Punch in 1976. I was there when he
And for the younger people,
yes,
that same Sam
Yes.
is the publisher
yes,
of the Vanguard newspapers today.
Yes.
And back then he was known as Sam Amukapemu.
Yes, but he was
Sad Sam was his pen name.
Yes, Sad Sam. So when he became managing editor of The Punch in 1975-76, he said he's renouncing the sad. So, and that is now Happy Sam.
Happy Sam.
He was the one who employed me
Wow.
on The Punch in 1976. And he told Olabi Lori, Solomon Olabi Lori,
SB.
who was the, not SB.
Oh, not SD.
Yes.
Masutoro.
Yes.
Okay.
Solomon Olabi Lori,
Okay.
who was my childhood friend. He was the
Okay.
sports editor. And then he said, Owoblo, go and look for a fine reporter. Owoblo came to me and said, we can't work together. You've been childhood friends, and then I am older than you by 4 years, and then I may seem to be stubborn when you give orders. So, but then eventually, Labi prevailed on me because he went to my mother to report me, and my mother said, "He's your friend. Follow him." I followed him. I got to The Punch, and Sad Sam or Uncle Sam did not even tell me how much he was going to pay me until after a week. I wrote the first sports story on The Punch when Punch went
The
daily.
very first
Yes.
sports story
Yes.
that was
When-
published in the Punch newspapers.
Yeah, when they went daily.
When they went daily.
Yes, it was a weekly newspaper until 1976. But then, I could say I was lucky to be the only journalist on February 18 when Kalakuta Republic was born. I was the only Nigerian journalist. And Obisi Anwampa could testify.
The
to
boxer?
What, yes, could testify to what I am saying now because he was there. He was among the 1,000 soldiers that besieged Fela Ransom Kuti's house.
Okay, sir. This is an interesting story. And if you're just joining us, you're listening to us at the Legend series of the Boomba on Boom Radio NG. We have Pa Segun Adenuga, 80 years young.
Yeah.
We have Yomi Okpakula, and we have myself, Shola Rogers, a couple of other people in the building.
We are young.
Yeah.
We are young.
I won't tell
He's
them.
old.
I won't tell them you're. I know you're. You know, but we know that your beat is sports.
Yes.
You just told us a few seconds ago how you wrote the very first sports story when the Punch went daily,
Yes.
because it was publishing as a weekly paper before. Then it went daily.
Yes.
Sometime in the 70s.
Yeah.
So how does a sports reporter now happen to be the only
Yes.
journalist
Yes.
on ground during the siege on Kalakuta Republic
Yes.
in Surulere / Mushin
Yes.
/ Yaba?
Yes. I took my journalism job from a very top British institution. And then they told me, when you are going for an assignment and a greater event happened on your way, you have to pay attention to that, especially something that involved lives.
Wow.
So I saw Fela story more greater than the football match
That you were going to
I
cover.
was going to cover, because there will always be football matches.
Lesson.
And then that is why I decided to stop. I stopped. And then the first person I met was Obisi Anwapa. In the midst of 1,000, it was a battalion. A battalion, and that is 1,000.
A full battalion.
A full battalion. Obisi Anwapa is still alive, you can confirm. And then he saw me, and he noticed I've been writing about boxing. Then he came to me, said, Egbon, don't let them know you are a
journalist.
Otherwise, they will kill you here.
You'll be a target.
Yes. So I said, it's okay. Then I put my biro and everything in my pocket, and I was recording everything into my head. And then I went to an hotel very close to Abiola's house, Abiola's office at Jibo. So there was an hotel there, they called it that time, one small hotel owned by an Ekiti man, Crossroad Hotel.
Yeah, Crossroads.
So I went there was no phone, and then I went to that hall. I said, please, let me use your phone to get in touch with my
office
editor in Zegs, what do they call it? So I got across to my editor. My editor then I think was Dabdoman, Dabodaramola, Dabdoman, his pen name. And then Tayo Kende was the news editor. And then they sent about 4 journalists to join me at
the Crossroads Hotel.
Yes, at the Crossroads Hotel, and we moved to the scene of where Fela's house is being burned. That day, there was a photographer, Nigeria's best photographer,
Peter Obe.
Peter Obe. He was around on top of the bridge. The bridge had been completed, it was not commissioned. Peter Obe was hidden somewhere over there, and he took pictures of what was happening. Yes. So we got there, they sent Segun Adenuga, Roy Graham, Yomi Ajetumobi. I was on ground already, and then there was another fellow. So we were 5 covering Fela something. So it was a big event in my journalism career.
It is a big event.
Yes. So the rumor that Funmilayo and some Kuti Fela's mother was thrown from the
window upstairs.
No, was not correct.
Really?
I was around when Mama came down herself from the window downstairs and then went to a nearby street. They call that street Okesuna. It's still there.
Yeah.
Yes, Okesuna Street. So he went there and he was watching the event. When Fela was eventually captured at 25 minutes to 6.
Awesome.
In the evening.
Shola,
in the evening.
25 minutes to 6.
Yes.
Awesome.
Yes.
Collection.
In the 70s.
Off.
Yes. So I was still around nosing for news, but not writing anything. So
because you were warned.
Yes.
By your friend.
I left that place briefly to meet Mama. Though some soldiers caught me, they gave me a dirty slap. I quickly moved away from Mama. So not quite 20 minutes, Fela was captured. After his 28 wives had been captured. I was there live. Live. Nobody can say anything about that. I was the only Nigerian journalist at that time who could record how Fela's house was burned. It was set on fire by a Yoruba boy. Razak is the name, but for security reasons, I didn't want to mention.
But he's a soldier.
Yes, he was a soldier. So then they were dragging Fela from Abalte Barracks to military hospital in Yaba. From there to Crossroad Hospital at Awolowo Road. And then when we gathered our stories with my colleagues, then we went back to our office. Then editorial meeting had to be shifted again or repeated again. So because we wanted whether to use that story or not, because it's a military regime. So we were afraid of being sanctioned and then sent packing from it, because we came just 3 months earlier for the Black Arts World Black Arts Festival.
Yeah, Festac 77.
Yes. So Obisia told me that Edmond, the offense Fela committed was not today. It was committed some 5 months ago when he sang Sombi or Sombi. So the soldiers went to look for this meaning of Sombi. They thought it was just a pidgin what?
But they found
It was-
the English meaning.
Yes, that zombie is somebody who is almost dead but still
Just
moving.
trucking on.
Yes.
No.
So then they got annoyed, but they didn't want to attack him while the whole world was still in Nigeria. So they struck on 18th of February, immediately after the festival. So I noticed some people were sacked in their office because that time my great Egbon and former governor of Ogun State, Segun Adenuga, had
Another veteran journalist.
yes, had taken over the administration of Sketch newspaper.
Yes.
So he queried his boys in Lagos.
Why were you not
Why were
on
you
ground?
not there?
Yes, I know.
And that's a lesson for all journalists.
Yes, I think
Your bosses will ask you,
about-
why are you not there when the news
yes,
is breaking?
They
Yes.
just wrote a line, Fela's Kalakuta Republic Bond, and then we came with
A
full
detailed
page.
report.
Yeah, detailed report, front and back. So, and that what launched Punch to the limelight up to today, because we were reporting Fela every day. And
By
then-
the way, Uncle Sheikh, Obisi Anwapa
Yes,
was in the military,
yes,
but was also a boxer.
yes,
In fact, he became a Commonwealth champion.
yes.
In fact, he fought for the world.
African champion too.
Yes.
So,
But that is the interaction of the journalists
yes,
and sports
yes,
and events around it.
yes,
If we are designing,
yes,
if our antennas are positively up,
yes.
I congratulate you, I salute you, we celebrate you.
Thank you.
Now, let me ask you, you must have also had mentors. You must have mentors. Your early days mentors, especially in the area you now became so renowned in, which is sports. You are a thoroughbred journalist,
Yes.
but you are renowned for sports.
There was a great sports journalist, one of the best ever, Bona Ekanem. If you tell Peter Osugo, he will tell Bona Ekanem had no equal in Nigerian sports journalism. When he wrote an article in 1962, when a club from Sapele area of Nigeria in the then western region, they called that club Amukpe FC. It was a splinter group from Asaba Football Association. They formed a club and they turned everybody Nigerian football. That year, Amukpe came to Lagos, and then it was a very posterior occasion at Onikon Stadium, full to capacity. Amukpe versus Police. FA Cup semi-final. Amukpe came with names like Alabi Essien,
Okay.
Alabi Essien, Tony Otta,
Mr. Longtrue, the original Mr. Longtrue.
Abu Malaya, who later became Stationery Stores goalkeeper in 1963. After that FA Cup semi-final.
Report him.
Yes.
Oh.
So
Iyo.
we had Sam Opone in that team.
Woo.
And it was their
Skippo.
Stores got Sam Opone. And then Jerry Asinge
Zingi.
was in that team.
Left full back.
And they have one wonderful footballer. We call him Iwerebo. He will put his wristwatch and be playing football. Fantastic footballer of those days. And then we had one Adeke in that team. And then it was a fantastic side. In fact, I think Stationery Stores took a cue from that provincial club. They were fantastic. Then we had Bona Ekanem, top reporter for Daily Times and West African pilot of those days. And then he said, after the match, in his report, I think he had some scoreboard. with the police at the gate. He was ruffled, and then police beat Amukpe. So in his report, he said, police beat me and beat Amukpe. in his report. I read that, I said, yes.
It was published?
Yes, it was published. This is, people like Jonathan Ogufere could testify to this, because Ogufere will be 90 on the 23rd of June this year.
Awesome.
Yes.
Wafu, former Wafu
President.
And
He is my mentor. Wow. I love him because he formed about 2 clubs, Vasco da Gama of Enugu and another Bullet FC of Benin in those days. So that is my regards to Jonathan Boitier Ogufere.
awesome.
Yes. So, and then I had regard for Buna Ekanem for his incisive sports reporting, followed by Peter Osugo. Peter Osugo. Pecos was fantastic.
Pecos.
He was team manager of Stationery Stores. He was team manager of Nigerian national team. He took the Nigerian team to 1968 Olympics in Mexico, and at Azteca Stadium, they held the great Brazil to 3-3 draw.
Yeah.
In fact, Brazil were trailing.
They had to play catch up with Nigeria.
Yes. So,
And the Brazilian team had Pelé.
yes, they had Pelé. And that's why they had to come back with, Pelé had to come back with Santos in 1969 to say, these Stationery Stores, this station. Then he met Stationery Stores again, because we had 9 players playing against him in the Nigerian 11 team on the, I think that was on the 27 or 20 of 1969 they played, and it was a team.
9 players.
Yes, 9 players.
From one club in Lagos.
Yes, yes.
Represented Nigeria.
Yes, yes.
9.
Yes.
And you are still wondering why I'm waving my white handkerchief.
I can mention those 9
Let me.
players.
Please mention the names, sir.
Iyo.
Please. Starting from Tony Igwe, and then we had Marceli Augustine Ofoku.
Ofoku.
We have Sam Opone. We have Sunday Ine. We have Muiwa Oshode.
Lucky boy.
We have Mohammed Lawal.
Yes.
We have Fred Ayi Baba Ali. 7. We have Mohammed Lawal.
8.
We have Mohammed Lawal, and still another boy. There's somebody else. Rigogo was not in the team because he was being, he was playing truancy then, and then.
So they disciplined him.
Yes, they disciplined him. In fact, we had 9 in that match, and then it was
9.
a 2-2 draw. Pelé scored 2 goals.
Here in Lagos.
Yes, at Onikon Stadium.
Yes.
And that was the first match in Nigerian football history where spectators had to pay £3, £2, and 10 shillings. That was the highest gate fee in Nigerian football history. Pelé was around, he scored 2 goals. Muiwa Oshode scored
Lucky
a goal,
ball.
and Baba Ali Fred Ayi scored the equalizer. It was a 2-2.
Wherever you are a Stationery Store supporter,
and
feel
then,
great, feel high.
After that match, they were hosted to a very big party at Island Club. That time, Prince Adedoyin was the chairman of Island Club, and Molade Okoya Thomas, I think, was the secretary, and he happened to be a Stationery Store supporter, of course. And then Pelé was feted, and his group too. So it was a big event at the Onikon Stadium, and it was a full house. I think about 33,000 Nigerians watched a match at a very small Onikon Stadium.
What was the broadcasting of that match like? The media coverage for that match?
It was Ishala Folarunsho still on, and then it was a super show for Nigerian football, and then I happened to be among those at a very a teenager of my type. Then I was happy to be among those who watched that big match.
So Bona Ekanem and
Peter Osugo,
Peter Osugo,
they had
they were your mentors.
They had no equal in Nigeria.
And incidentally, Peter Osugo clocked 86 just some days ago.
Yes.
Clocked 86
A few years ago,
Yes.
I was privileged to be part of a team from Stationery Stores
Yeah.
that actually went to celebrate with him
Yeah.
at his house
At Igbobi.
at Igbobi.
Yes.
And of course, there we have him on tape. You
Yes,
know,
yes.
he told us the name, the Red Devils,
Yes.
was the name of the Nigerian football national team,
Yes.
and how instrumental he was
Yes.
in naming the team
Yes.
the Green Eagles.
Eagles.
Yes. He did that, I think, in 1961 or so, April 15 to be precise. And then the name was changed from Red Devils to Green Eagles.
The name Red Devils was handed down by the colonial masters.
Yes.
Was it as a fact that Man United, who were known as, where did that connection come from?
I think so, because that time Darby Allen was in control, and his wife was the first chairman of Nigeria Supporters Club in the early 50s.
The
So,
Nigerian Supporters Club is that old.
Yes. Darby Allen's wife was the first motivator, the person who really put Nigerian Football Supporters Club on the move. And then before George Oshaw, and later my brother Ladipo, and so on and so forth. I think they have about 5 factions now.
Yes, there are about 5 of them.
But then,
And it's a lot of confusion and chaos.
Nigerian Supporters Club should be Nigerian Supporters Club.
Yes.
In Ghana, we have Supporters Club there too. So I don't think there should be much altercation about that, because they've been in existence for years. And then I think they should reconcile. And then since they are fighting for the same common goal, I don't think there should be.
Okay, you mentioned Ghana in passing a few
Seconds
minutes.
ago.
Yes. But before I go there, I'd like for you to tell us, because also at the opening stage, you mentioned the role Zeke as a referee.
Yes.
Zeke, who was so many things, was a
Yes.
journalist,
Yes.
was this,
It was a-
that,
it was a-
a referee,
it was
was a
a-
footballer, he had a
It
football
was
owner,
He was a swimmer.
he was a swimmer,
Yes.
whatever.
An athletic champion.
Yes.
Nnamdi Azikiwe.
Now, yes.
Oh.
You,
I knew about his boxing
Not only
pedigree and his refereeing.
He became champions in 6 sports. He was Lagos champion in 1922. In 1923, he was boxing champion. And in 1924, I think he was an athletic champion.
Nnamdi Azikiwe.
Oh, of course. Yes, I can write a book on Nnamdi Azikiwe. He was the greatest Nigerian head of state as a sportsman.
okay, so it's from that premise that I'm trying to ask this question,
Yes.
so that our informed audience and our audience generally can also learn or get the information from you.
Yeah.
Not so many people know Anene
Yes.
beyond football. They think it's football. But those who are older know that Anene also covered boxing so very, very, very much in his days. Can you talk to us about boxing coverage at that time and your contemporaries and those you handed over to for a few minutes?
Boxing has been my passion as far back as 1950. Yes. At the age of 8, I would go to Okeite Boys and Girls Club
That's on Lagos Island.
on Lagos Island. I would leave Okeite and go to Faji Boys and Girls Club. I would leave Faji Boys and Girls Club and go to Broadway Boxing Club.
Wow.
I will leave boxing.
All those don't exist again.
Yes,
Not-
I
not-
will,
They were
I
existing
will
then.
leave that
And
one.
this is grassroots sports at its best.
Yes, I will
Then-
leave there and go to Lafiaji, where we have a boxing club, where the likes of Gaspar Amusu and others were training. I would then leave to go and watch Boni Ade, preparing to fight for the national bantamweight title, Nigerian bantamweight title, and West African bantamweight title. So when Boni Ade won the African bantamweight, West African bantamweight title to become triple champion in Nigeria, I was around among those who welcomed Boni Ade in 1959 at his house in Glover Street. Boni Ade went to Ghana with one Segun Adenuga, who is the elder brother of a veteran journalist, Perry Adigun, of the Daily Express fame. And then he went with that Segun Adenuga, who was also a boxer. A top rivalry between him and Karim Young in those days was a sellout in boxing arena. So Boni Ade had been a great footballer and boxer and a great manager. He was manager to Love Muka, he was manager to Victor Paul, he was manager to Organ Jimo, and so on. And then Boni won the West African title, beating Spider Okine in Accra in 1959.
Spider Okine is a Ghanaian boxer.
A Ghanaian boxer. So when he came back, I was among those who welcomed him at his house at Glover Street in Lagos Street. Then a lot of boxers came up from Lagos Island. Gilbert Ochoba Gilijo, Oris Obilaso, who was sparring partner to the Aláàfin of Ọ̀yọ́, Ọba Lamidi Adeyemi. In 1957, I watched Adeyemi and Oris Obilaso from Imo State sparring. Then I could write a book on that too, because
the same Aláàfin
of
Ọ̀yọ́ sitting, Ikú Baba Yeye.
Yes, Ikú Baba Yeye. He had.
No wonder he still does his thing.
Yes, he had 4 amateur boxing tournaments before he was called to come and become
the king.
By the way, he's a Gregorian. No?
Yes.
He went to St. Gregory's College.
Yes. Yes, Gregorian.
Upgrades!
And then
any Gregorian at
then
he
had a stationery stores, a stationery store office at Breadfruit. Okay. That's Aláàfin.
That's on Lagos Island.
On Lagos Island. So he used to come to training with his sister. I grew up to see Aláàfin boxing. I grew up to see Speedy Twish boxing. Jeff Dudu, who later became Nigerian Boxing Board of Control Secretary, was boxing in my presence. Okay. Blackie Power boxed in my presence.
You were reporting all of them?
Yes, I was watching. Awesome. Even as a small boy, I knew virtually all the Nigerian boxers in history, including Rafael King, Oris Obilaso, Fatai Orlando Paso, and so on and so forth. I can name about
Ogambasi.
Dick
Tiger.
All of them. Awesome. Sandy Luke, Buhari Abbas, and others.
And as a Lagos boy, Mama Clay
came later. Mama Clay was beaten by Organ Jimo to win the lightweight.
Lat Darasin.
Yes, Lat Darasin fought
Abraham Tonika.
Lat Darasin fought Abraham Tonika 6 times. Tonika won 5 times and lost just once to Darasin. And Darasin was being managed by the great Speedy Twish of Grassroots.
We remain a legend, sir.
Yeah.
We remain a legend. I will celebrate you. Now, while you were on different beats, Punch and everywhere, you must have had those who worked under you and today are greats. Can you remember some of them who worked with you while you were on the sport desk here and there?
Yes, I think Yomi Fetuga did, and I think he's a very respectable. He has become an American, I think, because he has been there for the past 32 or 33 or 31 years now. Jacob Akinola, too. Yes, and Muyiwa Daniel did not really work under me, but I brought Muyiwa from one paper, nationalist, formed by Politics Without Bitterness, Ibrahim, what do they call it? that man who had GNPP as a
Oh,
party.
Waziri.
Waziri Ibrahim. So I took Miwa from that paper in 1978. So I just saw him and said, this small boy is a fine writer. I said, yes, I will give you a note. I am leaving Punch. I will give you a note to Olabi Lori. So you join Punch and then you make...
You virtually gave the Punch your own replacement.
Yes, I did. I
He
did.
became a great there before I went to.
I did. I did because I had a small problem with the then editor, Shola Odufa. He thought he was a more stationery store supporter than
you.
So there was a march that I should cover, and I was born a Muslim. And up to that time, I was fasting 30 days uninterrupted. So Odufa said, the report of this march must be brought back to the office from Zeke's house at Onipetes to UAC, and then after breaking my fast at 7 o'clock, the march will close at 7 because the march that started at 4:30, 5 o'clock will not end at about 7:15. So, and I said, editor, Owolabi Ilori was my sports editor. I said, editor, sir, we had planned this story for Monday. The march was Saturday. So he said, no, I am the editor. I said, it's okay. If you are the editor, I am the reporter. So I covered that story. And then I told Owoblo, there is no way I could come back to the Punch. I was living in Lagos Island. So then...
It was Ramadan time?
Yes.
And stuff like
So he talked to his the other, and then he said, by the time I got to the office on Sunday, I saw a query. I didn't answer that query. I just tore the paper and then told Punch, I am off.
You knew you were leaving then.
Yes.
Can we know, can we have a glimpse into Segun Adenuga and West Coast? How did West Coast come about?
Yes.
What is West Coast? Why are you West Coast?
West Coast came, it was in a dramatic way, because then even my wife will be wondering, in the morning, maybe I won't tell her anything. But in the afternoon, I will just say, oh, I will be in Lome to cover.
Just like that?
Yes. I want to be in Lome this night, and Lome is 4 hours. I want to be in Lome to cover
Dragons.
To cover dragons, or to cover a boxing tournament involving Mensa Palongo and something. I say, what type of human being are you? Then from Lome, I could go to Niamey in Niger, and then from Niger to Fort Lamy in Chad. So moving like that. Then they said, West Coast.
And of course, your second home.
Yes.
Charlie.
Oh.
Charlie.
Ghana is like. I happen to be the first and perhaps the only Nigerian journalist who chose Ghana to be his second home, because my colleagues thought I was looking for the Ghanaian girls. No, not really, because the Ghanaians are very civilized, very polite in approach. You do things by order in Ghana. You cannot even fetch water by pushing. Yes, by pushing anybody. You don't push to enter a bus in Ghana. Wow. In fact, Ghanaian will get bus.
Did you hear how Uncle Segun Adenuga called bus? Now he said bus.
Yes.
Bus.
Yes. Ghanaian will not say boss. When you say boss, you are referring to your oga in the office.
Oh,
that is not boss. To
best.
the Ghanaian is boss.
Best.
Oh, Charlie.
Charlie.
And then when you rush to enter vehicle in Ghana, you are Agege. Agege means you are a Nigerian from Agege, rushing.
Sonny Mohammed,
yes.
In Ghana, how would you
Yes.
You are listening now?
Yes.
Alete, all of you.
I'm telling you,
Oh,
that's the
Uncle
perception
Segun.
of Ghanaians about Nigerians. When you see anybody rushing to enter a bus in Accra, in Kumasi, in Koforidua, in everywhere, so they say, he must be a Nigerian. So I imbibe their culture. You cannot wear a slippers and drive in Ghana. Up to today,
Wow.
you'll be arrested. And they will not take bribe from you. Oh, Charlie, oh, it's not problem. Let us go to the station. They will tell you, they will go to the station. So let us go to the station. Then you tell our boss there. So a lot of things I learned from
That's
Ghana.
why you like Ghana.
Oh, that's
You
why
like the culture shock.
I
The
like
difference in the
a disciplined society
Mhm.
where law and order will not just break and then nobody is doing anything. I love Ghana.
Okay, should I expose you to that you also go to Ghana to bring talents and put them in stores here?
That is normal. That is normal because the founder of stores laid that foundation. Right back.
that's Israel Adebajo.
Yes. From
so continue to rest in peace.
1966, we've been taking players from Ghana. Let me tell
Why?
you. Let me tell you a story about Fred Ayi, Baba Ali in Nigerian football. He was in the military in 1966, and then he was playing for Great Olympics
In Ghana.
in Ghana. Then he joined Hearts of Oak, and then the late Ghanaian head of state, Joseph Ankara, was a patron. He was a player of Hearts of Oak. He later became a patron. I attended his burial in 1992 in Accra. So then, Baba Ali went to him that I want to go and play in Nigeria. I said, what's my problem? If you want to go and play in Nigeria, go and play now. So Baba Ali came to Nigeria in 1967. And then he was in the Nigerian Olympics team to Mexico in 1968.
Baba Ali
Baba Ali.
from Ghana.
Yes. And he played about 10, 15 matches for Nigeria. He scored vital goals that if I go into my archives, I will be telling you this and that and that. And he was one of the best football juggler I have ever seen in my life.
Till today.
Yes, up to today. So
Until you had an encounter with certain player called Haruna
Yes.
Olatuji
Ilerika.
Ilerika.
Yes, that's true.
Ball juggling.
Yes, ball juggling.
Fantastic.
So I owe Ghana a lot of respect. They obey simple law.
With due respect, sir, I like to apologize to a lot of our listeners and the viewers. Apparently, our internet service provider is not doing us well. I just noticed from the back end now that the stream is cutting off. But the beauty of what we're doing is that we're recording.
Oh, fine.
So many days down the line, we're going to put this on the line, on the internet. People can go and watch it and listen over. We're going to repeat this again at 7 p.m.
Okay.
And we'll repeat it maybe tomorrow again and a couple of other days. On Saturday, let people tap into this wealth of knowledge that is being put out by Uncle Segs.
Yeah, and I think since the way we have structured this program is such that it will be a monthly one.
Yes.
I can be here next month again. I won't be tired of talking. And I have a lot.
The next time we're bringing Uncle Segs here, it's solely about stationery stores.
But today we'll still mention though.
We will definitely we want to have an entire 1 hour. That will be during the regular boom bar. We want to have an entire 1 hour
by the way,
dedicated to stationery stores.
You told me in the evening of your birthday that retired Justice Adebajo actually also came to your house to celebrate your 80th birthday with you.
Yes, he came.
How did you feel?
Yes, I felt proud. And I told my wife, I told you, Niyi will always attend my party. Even if it is in the night, he will always come. He came and then said, Emma, no problem. I've seen you, and that is yes, he came. So
Tilewa and Co, you must follow what Egbon is doing. You must stay close. You must stay close with Egbon. Now let me go to other areas because of time. Let's pick a few things. I like our audience to understand briefly,
Yeah, okay.
your relationship, or how did you get to know these people I'm going to mention and your relationship with them?
Yeah.
Larry Zamoje,
Oh.
formerly Larry Echejile,
Echejile.
and Mumini Alao,
Yes.
and Kule Shilaja,
Yeah.
all in the sporting arena that have done audacious things that people cannot wave aside.
Yeah.
I'd like to know.
Where do I start? From?
You can start from Larry, you can start from Mumini, you can start from...
Okay, let me start from Mimini Alao. Mimini Alao came to complete sports some 30 thereabout years ago, and for all what I know about him, has been a complete gentleman to the core. You cannot hurt Mimini. Mimini cannot hurt anybody. So I was very close to their paper from the initial stage when Sunday Ojabase was at
The publisher.
Yes, was at New Busa in 1977-78 as a soldier.
How many people knew that?
A recruit.
That's Sonny Ojegbase.
Oh yeah. He was freelancing for my paper, the Nigerian Herald. I was assistant sports editor then. Sunday was freelancing for our paper, and I liked his writing. He liked my writing too, but we have never met. Then in 1979, Sunday had to leave the military job and join Daily Times. So he said he was looking for Segun Adenuga. I said, I'm looking for Sonny Ojagbase too. so we met and we became friends. So at the initial stage, it was rough for him. Then he became a superstar, fine writer, Sonny Ojagbase. So he has a very good command of English word. So I admire him. And then the idea of forming a paper, sports souvenirs, this and that came off with him. I said, yes, Sonny, the little help I can do is to give you some quiz so that people seeing that quiz in your paper will develop interest in buying the paper and answer
They want to win something.
they want to win something. I think
Creativity.
I think it was the price was
Uncle, you are too much.
1,000 then. Then I went to a friend, this man, Joseph Afolayan, a promoter, a boxing promoter who was a Stationery Stores patron too. So I said, Josie, please, we want to do this and do that, and Sonny is a friend. He said,
Can you sponsor this?
Yes, can you sponsor this? No problem. So we started from there and we became friends. So sometimes I will write story for the Complete Sports International. Here I interviewed Golden Boy Abdul Razak. Oh,
Ghana.
beautiful interview. It was spread across West Coast. So Golden Boy saw me. Egbon, in his
attempt to
promotion like Yoruba.
To speak Yoruba.
Egbon, ẹtún wá mi dé yìí náà.
And Golden Boy is a Ghanaian boxer.
No, footballer.
Oh,
He was
footballer.
African footballer, 1978.
Wow.
Yes.
African footballer of the year.
Yes, 1978.
Wow.
There are quite a number of them like that,
Wow.
including Sunday,
Yes.
Ibrahim.
Yes.
They
So,
have their roots
yes.
in the north,
Yes.
like
So-
Kano and what have
So
you.
I said, yes, here I am.
I also met them.
In 1978, a day after the Nations Cup final, I met Golden Boy at a restaurant. I happened to be the only Nigerian journalist to be lucky to have an interview. So Daily Times wanted me because of that interview. I told SBS, I'm not coming to Daily Times because you are mixture of Ijebu and Egba. You don't have plain mind to watch yourself. So I push it Daily Times. I didn't work for Daily Times for any reason because
As at that time, the way it was set up,
yes,
they were a little bit tribalist.
yes.
Wow.
I said I am not interested in going to Babalawo or Juju.
I don't want to play that game.
I don't want to play that. So SB was pestering me, and MD wants me. I said I am not coming. So I opted for my
Okay.
So at that time, where do I? Okay, I'm still on
Yes,
Mumini
yes,
Alao.
yes.
So,
And you still have Larry Zamoje,
yes,
and you
I
still have
I will touch
Briefly,
them.
briefly.
I will touch them.
Yes.
So since then, I've been in Mumini Alao's heart as a mentor, as a father. He told me,
As a counselor.
yes, he had been reading me when he was at this college. at,
Igomode Grammar School.
Igomode Grammar School. And then when he came on in 1980-82, then he said, this man I've been reading is the man I am meeting now. Yes.
And they were working together.
I'm not a ghost.
That's the power of sport.
That's when he joined Complete Sports.
Yes. He joined
As a
Complete
rookie.
And then
And this veteran is
Yes, yeah.
interacting with him.
very nice
sports.
gentleman. Mumini, if I say Mumini in the night, he will
Pick the call.
call. So I appreciate Mumini. a lot.
Larry Zamoje. What
Larry
kind of a guy? How did you meet him?
Larry
What kind of a guy is he?
Samoje, when he was getting married, I think 1990 or 1991. So I was on the Democrat as a editor, sports editor. Then he told me, I'm going. So I just wrote a small column. Larry takes Bridget to the altar. That was the story. Larry takes Bridget. Bridget is the wife.
Yes.
And then it was there to the form Brilla.
Bridget and Larry.
Brilla.
So since then,
So please, sir, I want you to pause for emphasis,
Yeah.
because we gloss over very important things at times because we know. But for those of you that do not know, Brilla FM is Bridget and Larry.
yes,
Brilla.
yes.
Now you know.
Yes.
Courtesy of
Uncle Shaggy.
So anytime I come across Larry, Larry Joe, Larry King, Larry this, I never knew he has great respect for me.
Wow.
I just told him I will be 80. He said, wow, 80? I said, yes. Benro told him to see the same thing. I said, okay. Since then, I just kept quiet. All of a sudden, I saw Larry say, we are going to do this. Not until January 17, I started hearing Larry. I said, Larry, this one now wow. He said, you deserved all this.
Yes.
Because
And he told me this morning too. He said,
we
cannot stop celebrating you.
Yes,
He told me
said-
this morning
he said,
that we mustn't.
You may not
and we
know
cannot
that
stop celebrating.
we learned from you. You may not know
Yes.
because you are too open-minded. I don't know. If you say you are 14, I am 15 or 13.
Okay, there's
So,
one person now,
Yes.
out of the three I mentioned,
Yes.
who seems to mirror you
Yes.
in record keeping,
Yes.
accuracy,
Yes.
date, and everything.
Yes.
Just like the only other player that I know that have that,
Yes.
Haruna
Yes.
Olatuji
Yes.
Ilerika,
Yes.
who has a power of recall.
Yes.
Kule Sholaja.
Kunle has been. Initially we were not so close, but you sometimes when he wants to write, you say, Egbon, Lasisi, what's the second name of Lasisi? I said Lasisi Olatunji. He happened to be my senior in primary school at Lafiaji. He left in 1950. I think he left in 1957 while I was maybe in primary 3 or so. So, but we call him one day fantastic footballer. So when Kule would just say, because he was not born, or he was born, he
wasn't grown up then.
So I say this is what happened at so time, and very fantastic.
Facts and figures.
Yes, facts and figures. Fantastic writer. He is a researcher. I am an historian. Kule is a researcher. I am an historian. So they have asked us, two of us now, to combine our efforts in writing a book for Thunder Balogun.
Atinga Balinga.
Yes, I said, Kule, you may not be able to write well on that, but I will be furnishing you
With the
information.
historical
Yes, yes.
perspective.
You're still listening to the Legend series on Boom Radio NG. Yomi Okpakunle,
Yeah.
of course, Uncle Segs.
Shola Rogers.
Okay, and Shola Rogers. You know, a big shout out to everybody. You're showing us love.
Yeah.
We're happy you're watching, you're listening. God bless you guys. And we hope you're also gleaning something from this table. However, sir, because there's so much to talk about.
Yes.
Tonda Balogun,
Yes.
the legend of Tonda Balogun. When we were very small, because I grew up in Surulere,
Okay.
the story was told
Yeah.
of how Tonda Balogun played a shot, and the goalkeeper and the ball both found themselves in the net. In fact, some people went further,
Yeah.
because we used to read all those foreign comics, those foreign football comics, Bino and all of that,
Yeah, Bino.
and Roy of the Rovers,
Yes.
Roy of the Rovers,
Yes.
Mighty Mouse, and all of that.
Yes.
And the story was told of how Tonda Balogun played a shot, and the ball went through the goalkeeper and all of that. We know now that
And
we
tore
are.
his tummy.
Yeah, it's Thomas Tom.
Yes.
We know that was, of course, made up.
Exaggeration.
But how great was Tonda Balogun?
Thunder Balogun was a great player. Great in the sense that at the age of 15, he started a journey that was fantastic. About playing a shot and killing a goalkeeper, I asked people, why Thunder Balogun alone in that issue and not the name of the goalkeeper? Up to today,
No name.
no name. And I knew virtually all the goalkeepers of that period. Right from 1949, I know all the goalkeepers for Marine, for Railway, for
ECN.
for PWD, for ECN, for UAC, for Police. Those are the teams that started the league in 1931.
The Nigerian National League.
League.
The Premier League,
Yes.
as it's known today.
Yes. So there is no goalkeeper I don't know. I know Jaji, I know Carlo Dwyer, Sam Ibiam, I know many.
Inuari Gogo.
Dovi, they are
Omo Eyin.
Dovi, a Togolese, fantastic goalkeeper, very fanciful.
But he played for the Nigerian team.
He was in goal for PWD, and PWD was a great team at that time. There was they had this man, Babashitu, the Ekusumi brothers, who are senior brothers to Tonda Balogun's wife.
Oh.
Balogun's wife is Ekusumi, and two Ekusumis were playing alongside Tonda Balogun.
Brethren, you can't afford to be
in the
this
same
legend.
team.
Yes.
Let me stress this at this point.
Yes.
You can't afford to be this legend series.
No, you can't.
Because people will bring to you, will give you facts
And figures.
and history.
Historical happenings that you know you can't get anywhere
I'm
else.
so happy. I'm so happy
This,
with this man.
if you Google this, you won't get it.
You talking about Google, sir?
Yes.
When Yomi Okpakunle asked you a question about your mentors,
Yeah.
because mentors are important,
Yes.
you mentioned Bona Ekane.
Ekane.
And as soon as you mentioned, because I was lucky
Yeah.
that I know Peter Osugo,
Yes.
and his son is my friend.
Oh.
He works at one of the telecoms companies today.
Yes, you said so. That.
But the name Bona Ekanem,
Yes.
if Peter Osugo says Bona Ekanem is a great sportscaster or sports writer, then he is a great sportscaster and a sports writer.
Yeah.
Google or no Google?
So I did a Google search and it brought nothing.
So we don't keep records. And that's one of the reasons
Absolutely
why we have this
online
podcast. We must keep records.
and I challenge anybody, go and search for Bona Ekanem. You will find nothing. But for Peter Osugo
Yes.
Greatest.
to say that this man is the greatest sports writer of all time in this country,
The greatest ever.
this is why we are doing what we are doing. We know. Look, people say I'm morbid. I'm going to say what is morbid. I know I'm going to say it. It ends one day.
Yes.
It has nothing to do with age.
Yes.
It just ends one day. I know that one day I am here, one day I am gone.
And this man that is telling us and re-emphasizing this is 80.
Yes.
80.
So he knows what he's talking
So-
about. He's not giving us a hearsay. He's giving you what
Facts.
he saw.
Yes.
and what he
Reality.
knows.
When I can-
That takes me to another place.
So-
sir. Okay.
Nobody.
There's no Bona Ikanem information. We will try our best.
So we must
We
keep
will try our
efforts.
best. But this is what we're doing. So that maybe 5 years from now, 10 years from now, someone
This
will
will
do a
have
search.
something.
And they will say, Yomi Okpakule, Shola Rogers,
Yes.
Segun Adenuga.
Yes.
And they will find this video online.
Yes.
And they would get information.
Now I want to go at an important area because I don't know how much time we have left, but we're enjoying ourselves with you. And this is for history's sake.
Yeah.
Record keeping.
Yeah.
I like proper record
Yes.
keeping.
Yeah.
Every time,
Yeah.
even those who are behind me, with due respect,
Yeah.
that we do sports, right? And sport. And we're talking about Nigeria's first continental football victory.
Yes.
They talk about 1980. And I say no. The first Nigerian continental victory
Yes.
is the 1973 All-African gold medal.
Yes.
And those people
Yes.
must be remembered,
Yes.
must be honored.
Yes.
If not by government,
Yes.
by individuals who can do it.
Yes.
And some of them are still alive.
Yes.
Tony Igwe is still alive in the US.
Yes.
Sonny Mohammed is still alive
Yes.
in
Yes.
Ghana.
Yes.
And
Kenneth Olayombo.
Olayombo is still in Lagos, yeah. And I know my very good friend, Dozie Dombraye,
Yes.
is in Rivers.
Yes. It's true.
And a lot of them are still alive that can be celebrated. Is it true that 1973 All-African Games that Nigeria hosted, the conquest,
Yes.
one here, that it is our first African continental football victory?
Of course, yes.
Thank you very much, sir. Please,
Of course, yes.
please go.
Of course, yes.
Because you were there, we were young.
Yes.
We were still just getting into secondary school.
Of course, yes.
But we don't forget records.
Of course.
And they are still alive.
Yes, of course, yes.
So if the
yes.
1980 team, nothing
No.
to take away from them.
Yes, nothing to
They
take.
won the Nations Cup, the first Nations Cup.
Yes.
Nothing to take away from them. If
Yes.
they can be celebrated,
Yes.
the 1973 All-African
Should
Games,
be
should they
celebrated.
be celebrated?
Yes, they should be
I
celebrated.
thank you very much,
They
sir.
should be celebrated.
Now, I go back to
some
another
of them
one.
are still alive.
So how did you meet? This is not to be completed
Yeah.
now.
Yeah.
Like Shola Rogers, my brother says,
Yeah.
we will dedicate a total time out
Yeah.
after we would have hosted some other legends to the one that will be about stationery stores.
Okay.
Because of their phenomenal nature, not because of any sentimental
Really
reason.
phenomenal.
But for now,
Really phenomenal.
just like a tip
Yeah.
of the husband,
Mm.
how did you get to know late Israel Adebayo
Yes.
and what it stands for?
I cannot claim to be close to Israel Adebayo. One, when stores are playing, you won't see Israel Adebayo around.
I was hoping you wouldn't get to this point.
When stationery stores are playing, especially vital
Games.
games, you will not see Israel Adebayo.
Wow.
Is an introvert. You can hardly notice Adebayo. Even when they were playing FA Cup final in 1967, he invited Chief Obafemi Awolowo to watch FA Cup final at Onikan.
Wow.
Yes, but you will not see him making loud.
It wasn't about him. Even if he was the one that built the old system, he did not. He didn't project himself.
You will not see. I have not seen somebody who is so
Humble?
too humble, too humble.
And yet
So,
he was doing wonders.
Yes, I cannot claim to be close to Adebayo, but then to his legacies, yes. Oh, you won't see him. If you are going to beat stores, it won't be in Adebayo's presence. if they are going to win, he won't be there.
They will tell him.
Yes.
We have won.
Yes.
Was it the lack of courage?
Do you think it was because of the pressure?
Maybe he may not like defeat. I don't know. But then, Adebayo was not on.
He wasn't in search of publicity.
In most times when Stars are playing, you could watch another match.
Mm.
You see him watching another football match because he was FA chairman, Lagos FA chairman in 1963.
Wow.
And he was treasurer Nigeria Football Association in that year too.
The same
Adebayo.
that now became the NFA
Yes.
and NFF.
Yes. So he was the one buying jerseys for the national team in those days.
Hmm.
But he won't make noise about it. You will not
With his
even
own funds.
Yes, with his own money.
For the Nigerian national team.
Yes, I stand to be corrected by
The
anybody.
owner of Stationery Stores of Lagos
yes,
was kitting the Nigerian national team
yes,
from his pocket.
I am Segun Adenuga saying that. So if anybody has a different facts from,
They should bring it.
yes, I want them to bring it because I grew up enough to know all this.
Mm.
And it is incontrovertible. You cannot even
Facts
controvert
are
that.
facts.
Yes. So Adebayo, he was the founder of Youth Fund, Youth Sports Federation of Nigeria.
Very sad. I'm sorry, sir. You're my seniors, you're my bonds, but
Yes.
of course this is broadcasting, and of course
Yes, yes.
we're
It's a
on,
leveler,
we're
it's
on
a
first
leveler.
name basis, and
Yes.
but I will still defer to you. I grew up loving the concept of the youth fund, private initiative
Yes.
that was the fulcrum
Yes.
and the main structure
Yeah.
that Nigerian football developed upon.
Yes.
The youth fund
Yeah.
created talent for this country.
Yes.
Where is the
In
youth-
fact,
where is youth fund?
created exposure for those talents to prepare Nigeria to win global recognition that they
On
began
several
to win.
stages? I remember in Europe they won one or two. Was it Switzerland or somewhere?
Yes. They
They
won. They won in Sweden,
Yes.
Gotia.
1980.
Aha.
I was in that team.
Wow.
Tony Eke, late Tony Eke.
Yes, I was the journalist that accompanied the team
To Sweden.
To Sweden.
Wow.
And then we had baby Peter
Aneke.
Adieke
Yes.
as the coach.
Hmm.
He was a member of the 1949 UK tourist team.
That had Tonda Balogun.
Yes. So, Tony Eke. No.
May so rest in
May so rest in peace.
So the youth fund.
Tony Eke became a very small boy moving with Adebayo and Nautan Garba Amza, G.N. Amza.
GN Hamza.
Yes, they are the people who formed Youth Fund. Tony Eke was a small boy, they were sending him errands, and then they were forming Youth Fund as a breeding ground for stationery stores. And yes, and to expose younger players to greater heights. So Tony was, since 1965, Tony was a small boy then, very brilliant and vibrant, and Nigeria, I don't know. Maybe when I'm coming another time, I may not come here.
Please come here. Some of us.
Are you sure you will be here when he comes back?
If we are here,
You
he
will
should
probably
come
even be in Germany or.
No, but if you are here, he should be here. Wherever we are, he should be.
We all
Do
be
you agree?
together. As long as Stores is there, shall we?
When
Go.
Tony died, and when he was sick, I clamored for assistance. I told Mumina Alao, open an account in your office, and then people should be sending some little. Until Tony died, then people just
There was
get
no support.
nothing. So I said,
That's why we're happy celebrating you, man.
oh
We are,
Sir,
Uncle, we are celebrating you. We're happy celebrating you because we are talking to you live. We can feel you. You can feel us, and people all over the world can
Tony
feel
did a
you.
lot.
We are happy.
A lot for Nigerian football.
for youth sports development.
Yes. He did.
So,
He was the one who brought Dokun Abidoye to be president, I think in 1978.
And he eventually became the pillar of sports.
Yes. So, Tony was not...
And so many talent.
was
So-
not,
so-
Tajudisu,
The youth-
all of them, Okoku, all of them, everybody passed through youth fund. Everybody passed through youth fund.
Including Osondu.
Segun
Including
Adenuga,
Osondu. Including Osondu.
Oh Lord.
The Youth Sports Federation of Nigeria
Yeah.
was founded in the 60s.
Yes.
How was it funded?
You know, they had Adebayo, who could bring... If you have £5 at that time, it's a big money. If you are expending £5 at that time, big money.
And you also said Jen Amsa was
Yes,
also
Jen
putting in,
Amsa
who was
too.
into
Yes.
a lot of,
Yes.
two of shipping and all
Two
of
of
that.
them were the only, and then they brought in Armstrong Ibikule.
Bikule Armstrong.
Yes, he was.
At some point,
He was team manager of
MKO
Nigeria.
Abiola also
Yeah,
got
later on,
involved.
in the later days.
Later days.
Later days he came and he also
Later
funded
days.
them.
And
I
then
think so
they
well.
had a competition for MKO Abiola. Youth Fund had about 12 competitions for people around the Oba Akinsua Cup, Emir of Kano Cup, SUNA Cup, this and that and that. And
That's
that
a
cup.
UJ.
So you will
Yes.
you will love to see this
UJ
back.
Yes, Muritala Muhammad Cup.
So you will love all this to come back.
Yes.
Don't you think so?
Oh, why not? It makes our football grow because this one, okay. Paul Okoku and others, they all played.
What about
Tarila Okorwanta played for Yusufon. Tajudisu played for Yusufon.
Yeah.
Alphonse
Segun
Akano played
Adenuga,
for the Olukani brothers played for Yusufon.
Bremna Alada.
Bremna Alada.
A lot of them.
Macmillan Obomo. Mention them. So, then
those of you we didn't mention, you
and
are
then-
there. Oh,
and then
we just can't remember everything.
We are
immediately.
having a very solid national team. Now you have to call somebody.
And league system. We also had league
yes,
system.
now you have to call somebody from Spain. Somebody we have not seen playing regularly in his club. Then to come and play for Nigeria. No.
So talk to us about Chief Olukon.
Yes.
Chief Olukon, the All Stars.
Yes.
What kind of pivotal role was he playing to sports development at that time?
Chief Olukami happened to
He
be...
had his shop at around Old Journalist.
He happened to be my egbon and my advisor. He was so passionate about football to the extent that he had Dan Ajibode working with him, and they formed a football club, National Bank Football Club. For 17 years, that club became a bogey club to Stationery Stores.
yeah.
Terror club, sir.
Yes. So, and then, Chief Olukami as Ekeri Olubadan, before he died, was a great man. He was very passionate about football development in this country. And then, when professionalism came in 1990, and then Chief Olukami was not a pushover in the administration of football, both for Shooting Stars and Nigeria. So,
And he was also he was part of the owners of financial bank rollers of Complete Sport.
yes.
Complete football.
Yes.
Yomi Ogbakunle,
Yes.
Uncle Segs mentioned when professional football came in 1990. It is on record that Nigeria started professional football even before England.
Yes.
This premiership that they are talking about,
Yes.
we started before them. Or am I
Yeah.
off point here?
No, you are not. I will tell you.
What are your own observations and your sincere feelings about the journey into professionalism or professional football, in quote, that Nigeria started? Where are we now? Where should we be? And what's the difference between what you had when it was amateur football?
I can remember in 1914, Frederick Baron Mulford started organizing football matches in Nigeria, among schools, starting from King's College.
1914.
1914. Starting from King's College, St. Gregory Grammar School, the oldest...
CMS Grammar School.
Yes, the oldest school. And later, it was joined by other Irish missionaries, British, Britons, and all that. Then in 1931, we started playing league with police, UAC, and so many other clubs, about Corinthians, that later became Marine in 1938. And so we organized football started in 1931 in Lagos.
1931.
In Lagos, with clubs like Muslim Brothers, this and that, many clubs like
In
that.
1931.
Yes. And in 1938, Nigeria played our first international match against Gold Coast, now Ghana. And then A.S. Fashola, a relation of Governor.
The former governor of Lagos.
Yes, became the first captain, not the one they are referring to as first captain. No, the first captain of Nigerian national team, whether
Selected or whatever.
Yes, was
A.S. Fashola.
Fashola.
This is a fact.
Yes, nobody can controvert that.
Is that where Fashola got his footballing skills from? Because I have,
yes,
we have played against him.
yes,
And we've seen he's actually a good footballer.
yes.
That,
Yes.
we're talking about the former governor of Lagos,
Yes.
who is currently the minister
Of
works
and housing.
and housing.
Yes, yes. He grew up playing football, and by that time, he grew up in a football-friendly environment at Isalegongon, where we used to go and watch the likes of Bode Lawal, a lot of players in Lagos at that time. Olushanka, famous goalkeeper, Tunde Disu, who is
The coach.
The coach. Tunde
Of Daman Miracle.
Yes.
You know, the Disu
Yes.
family.
Yes. Tunde Disu was a fine table tennis player for Lagos State. He was representing Lagos State.
Table tennis.
Table tennis tournament.
Tunde Disu.
I
How
am.
many people
We
do
need
that?
to bring Tunde Disu here.
Hey, we will bring him.
We need to bring
Because
Tunde.
me, my man.
Yes.
My
You're my man. You're my man.
Yes. He was a fantastic
Table tennis.
player in those days. And then his parents were consulted by ECA, Electric something of Nigeria, now NEPA,
NEPA. Yeah.
that they want to pay his school fees, he should come and play for NEPA. That's how today this became
A NEPA player.
And he represented Nigeria against Congo Brazzaville in 1965, 66, 67 with Olowo Oshodi of blessed memory. So it has been a long and very tedious journey from
amateur football, from the first organized game.
Yes.
When 1914,
Yes.
they started playing football in Nigeria.
Yes.
To 1938.
Yes, when we had our first international match against Gold Coast. And then, that time, they picked players from LTC, that is Lagos Town Council. They picked from Corinthians, which later became Marine. They picked from police. Police team has been in existence since inception.
Till now.
Yes, you cannot push the police team out of the football in Nigeria.
History.
Yes. They had a goalkeeper called Ceremonial Williams. Fantastic goalkeeper.
That was his nickname.
Yes, Ceremonial Williams. He was the first Nigerian goalkeeper in 1938.
Wow.
And then in 1938, we had the first schoolboy international from King's College, Richard Wilson. He was the first Nigerian football player, I think at the age of 18 or 19. Yes, it was. And then not until later in 1939, we had another player from King's College, I think two, Quist and Mensah from King's College. They became three Nigerian football
schoolboy players.
Yes. And in 1963, we had fourth and fifth schoolboy players from Mike Nwokedi and Johnny Egbonu from 16 Grammar School, Ozobulu, Indonesia. So
In Onisha.
yes, and
To the national team.
to the national team. And when I talk about footballer, I have to tell you something about Johnny Egbonu. He was just out of this world. He would dribble, and sit on the ball for opponents to come and meet him. He did that in my presence at Onikon Stadium. And that was way back, maybe 1963 or 1964. So Johnny Egbonu is now a doctor, a veterinary doctor. Remain blessed, Johnny Egbonu.
So, you talked about the background and how we have transited from organized football
Yes,
to professional football.
yes.
So, your own impression of our professionalism since 1990?
Especially, let me add, especially from the backdrop of when we have Lafa leagues, that we have Division 1 and Division 2. And we just Lagos, but well organized.
We even had Division 3 and Division 4
In Lagos.
in Lagos. So Division 1 now are not playing the type of football, entertaining football I saw in Division 4 in those days. Oh, to play in Division 1 league in Lagos,
Must be the best.
wow. It's not
No
simple.
wonder the fans thronged in.
Yes.
You know, when you are doing what is good, the fans will
So,
be there. You don't need to ask them to come.
We had
Talk-
Division 1,
talk-
Division 2, Division
talking
3,
about the
Division 4.
fans.
Yeah.
In 2015,
Yes.
during the FA Cup
Yeah.
in Nigeria,
Yeah.
which was hosted here in Lagos State, you were one of the honorees.
Yes, I am.
And that same day,
Yeah.
the organizers of the FA Cup
Yes,
threw the gate open.
yes,
It was free.
Yes.
They asked people to come.
Yes.
In fact, they were telling them there was going to be a 200,000 naira
Yeah.
raffle draw
Yes.
to encourage people to watch football.
Yes.
I have spoken with you before about things like this.
Yes, yes.
I have also read what you have said to other people. You don't like that idea because you know that at some point, at every point in time in your life,
Yeah.
before you became a journalist,
Yes.
you paid
Yes.
to watch football.
Yes.
And of course, even if you are allowed to pay now, you will still pay.
Yes.
With, apart from the personal
Yes,
recognition that you will get.
Yes.
That is supposed to be professionalism.
Yes.
Can you still talk about this? And why you think it is wrong for people to beg the fans to come and watch football
Yes.
and throw the gate open?
Yes. One, the Nigerian football fans had lost interest
In Nigerian football.
in Nigerian football. One, because you cannot go to the stadium and say, yes, this is Leventis, this is
Abiola Babes.
Yeah, and then you must watch 4 or 5 players from this team and 2 or 3 from this.
Yeah.
Now, there's nothing like that now again. But in those days, maybe Patrick Esume of UAC you are going to watch, or Carl Oduaya of UAC in goal. Yes, for UAC. For PWD, maybe this boy, Shilon, I know Shilon, or Ekusumi brothers you are going to watch. But nowadays, even up to 80s, we still have that. When you go to the stadium, Aruna is playing, Ajagun is playing, then the entertainment,
We're going to go.
their entertainment is on.
Odegbami is playing, Chukwu
Yes,
is playing.
yes. But now,
Mathematical.
yes,
Yes.
nothing like that now again. And then also, the British football has taken the fans out of the pitch of Nigeria.
That's the Premier League.
Yes.
Because they have the players you will follow.
Yes. So, I think we have to go back to the
The way things were run
yes,
before.
yes. We had 4 local leagues in Lagos. Now, if we have one now, I don't even know.
Sir, those 4 divisions that you had,
Yes.
the feeding machinery,
Yes.
wasn't it the school and the school principal cup?
Yes. Oh.
Principal cup.
Principal Cup, Oh, you won't
When
see-
you pick players and they are playing in
you won't see a toddler playing in Principal Cup in those days. Because let me tell you, there is now Bishop Amu. He played in Principal Cup for St.
Gregory's.
Very huge mountain. Oh, you cannot be a rat and be playing among the elephants. It's not possible. But now, you see them tiny thing playing Principal Cup. This is not Principal Cup, maybe Headmaster.
The Principal Cup used to feed them.
This will be Headmaster's Cup.
So the Principal Cup used to feed the leagues at that time.
Yes.
But you talked about rats not playing.
Yes.
But I'm sure there's an exception.
Yes.
A
Yes.
tiny rat called Haruna Olatuju Ilerika.
that-
It doesn't matter whether you're a
that-
giant.
That one is, Aruna is from out of this world.
This generation have something they call goats, and you know, before when they call someone a goat, it was derogatory.
Yes.
But goat means greatest of all time.
Yes.
Do you think that a player like Aruna
Yeah.
Ilerika
Yeah. Ilerika.
falls into that category?
Uh,
Thunder Balogun.
yes. Thunder was tall. Thunder about 6'2", 6'3". Bow-legged, very agile too, but when they say thunder, people think he had a shot that can kill a fly. Thunder had no shot that can kill a fly.
Really?
Yes. He will dribble, and even ask a goalkeeper, where do you want me to place the shot? Thunder cannot take a shot that can pull anybody down. I told his children, I said, your father was not Thunder, but that name came when they were playing against a police team in an FA Cup in 1942. Then Thunder was just 15-year-old. He was 15-year my Egbon. So Thunder equalized a match that they were trailing behind. In less than 7 minutes to the end of the match, they were still 2 goals down. Then he equalized, and they eventually won that match. And a lawyer from the Barracas, that lawyer from
Barracas supporters.
Yes, yes.
That's in the stands.
Yes, that lawyer, a boy or a man from Olowobowo extraction, Akinola Kings, Akinola King, rose and said, ara lomo yi.
Wow.
And that name stopped.
And that's where he got
So
Thunder.
it's not
Yes.
about a shot.
Not
It's
about church.
somebody
Yes.
giving him because of the
Not about-
mercurial
not about-
nature in which
not
he
about
came out.
church.
He corners it.
I later watched Thunder. This man had no shot. Why do they call him Thunder?
But Aralomo.
Yes.
And he was just 15 years old then.
Yes.
In the FA Cup
Yes, in the FA.
in Lagos.
In Lagos.
Just like Haruna Ilerika
Yes.
in 1970 became
Yes.
a phenomenon.
And then
making Zumbratu to win.
See the comparison. Haruna was born in 1949. Thunder Balogun made a name in 1949 by going to UK. Then in 1972, when Haruna became a superstar, Thunder died. So we took over from Thunder in 1970.
He took the mantle from
Yeah,
him.
from Thunder in 1970.
Sadly,
Yes.
Sadly, we are truthfully out of time.
Yeah.
We have been at it for about an hour and 42 minutes.
I am ready for you for another time.
But I think there has to be a part 2.
Yeah.
Before we wanted to bring Uncle Segs back solely for Stationery Stores, but this Legend series, we need to continue this story. We've not talked about the Ghana-Nigeria rivalry, which you have a lot to say. You know, we have not talked about your foray into sports administration.
Yes.
And again, a lot of
We've
people
not talked about his scouting mission for talents for Nigeria.
bringing talent to Nigeria and Stationery Stores.
We've not talked about his mentoring
Then
of other sports journalists.
which is actually related to the Sports Writers Association of Nigeria,
We've
SWAN.
not talked- Swan, yes.
So
We've not talked about his relationship with All Stars clubs in Nigeria where
the former players, everybody, they revere you. When they hear your name, everybody just comes alive. But sadly, we have to weigh the anchor here.
Okay.
But before we do that, sir, there are two things that you're going to do.
Okay.
I'm putting you on the spot.
Okay.
Your greatest 11 of all time. We don't want to know what year, which team they played for, from goalkeeper to striker to midfielder. Your greatest 11 of all time. Can we have them and their positions?
So that's one of the two.
Yes, one of the second one I would also mention. Then there's a addendum.
The greatest 11.
Yes. Should we start from the goalkeeper?
Yes.
Ibiam.
Wow. Really, sir?
Ibiam, number one goalkeeper of all time, according to Segun Adenuga.
Because, you know why? He played...
You're right. You're writing it down, Abi. You're drawing the pattern.
Yes.
Thank you.
He played in Nigeria and he went to Ghana.
And he excelled there
He
too.
excelled there. When we were playing against Ghana, his second goalkeeper, his reserve, was in goal for Ghana. But unfortunately, Carl Odwaya was in goal for Nigeria. They didn't pick Ibiam for the day Ghana defeated us. October 20, 1955, 7-0 in Accra.
Ghana defeated Nigeria.
Yes.
Please let us not repeat the scores. We'll scratch that from the record. Hey, Charlie, it's all love. It's all love. But we're going to remove that record.
So, Ibiam, I will consider Tony Igwe as my right half-back, number one.
Tony Igwe.
Yeah.
Should we go to left now?
Left.
We're playing in 4-4-2. Am I right, sir?
Yes. Left. Marceli Ofoku.
Marceli Ofoku.
Yes, Augustine.
Austin the folk.
So 5 and 6.
Yes. 5 and 6 definitely. 5 and 6 definitely is Opone and Segun Olumodeji. Not Olumodeji. It's Olumodeji.
Olumodeji.
Yeah, Oluwamudimeji. It's a Kogi name. But many people like they call Haruna Ilerika. It's Haruna Ilẹ̀ orí ẹni tó ń ṣèkà.
Ilẹ̀ ẹni tó ń ṣèkà. Ilerika.
So Segun Olumodeji, not Olumodeji, was arguably, Segun Adenuga asked me, the best central defender in Nigerian football history, and I told him. He went to 6 of my colleagues, those who are my contemporaries in age, and he got the same thing. He called back and said, Montigny-Paul. Yes, I watched, I saw them. So Segun Olumodeji had no comparison.
And Opone.
So Opone and Olumodeji.
Olumodeji played for which club?
Olumodeji played for Stationery Stores. Fantastic. No Kuti, ni rival.
So Opone and Olumodeji 5 and 6.
Yes.
Okay.
So let's move to the midfield.
Midfield.
Outside right, 7.
Outside right. Okudili Daniel. Very mesmerizing. He played like Osei Kofi in the outside right. Then Albert Onyauna, inside right.
Okay.
Onyamuna,
Albert Onyauna.
Okudili.
Yes.
So we'll go to the left.
Left. I have two choices. Two something. Dejo Fayemi and Patrick Nokwabo.
Dejo Fayemi and Patrick Nokwabo.
Yes.
We'll write both names down.
Yes. Center forward.
But we don't have a number 10.
Number 10, I will go to number 10.
We'll come back to that. Okay. So center forward.
Teslimi Akmani Balogun.
AKA Tonda Balogun.
Yes. Let me give number 10 to Elkanah Onyali.
Elkanah Onyali. Elkanah Onyali, number 10.
Number 10.
And the support striker for Teslim Balogun.
Yeah, support striker for Teslim Balogun. I will name Abudu Buraimo of Police. Fantastic striker, very bulky and forceful.
We have 11 names now.
Yes, it will be 12.
12, yeah. Wow. Okay. So, I know it's going to be
Abdul, what did you call it?
Abudu
Braimo
Buraimo
of the police.
of Police.
You know, I know it's going to be controversial
Yes,
because
I know
some
too.
people would disagree
I
with.
know too.
Yes,
Uh-huh.
but
I
this
know
is
too.
your opinion
Yes,
based on
ye-
experience.
Yes, I know too, because where I mentioned Segun Adenuga, some people can say Jacob Imade,
Yes.
and some people will say Monday Sinclair, because Monday Sinclair was the finest central defender in Nigerian football history. After a 90 minutes or 120 minutes match, no dry cleaner,
No stain.
no dry cleaner will touch
It's
Monday
jersey.
Sinclair jersey for washing.
Those days.
Yes, Monday Sinclair. He played alongside Tonda Balogun when they are winning the FA Cup in 1959.
So these are your
My
Greatest
top
11 of
11.
all time.
yes.
So JJ will not be in the red. So Aruna Eleka will not be there. So Yakubu Mambo will not be
Chairman
there.
Chuku,
So
Mathematical 7.
Yes, you know, it has to be 16
Yes.
players.
Yes.
But in those days, it used to be 11.
Yeah, so let's leave it at that.
No substitution in football in those days.
No substitution.
No
You
substitution.
play your 90 minutes like
Yes.
that.
Up to 1963, they introduced substitution into football.
wow.
Can you believe that?
Yes.
So you have to be strong.
No substitution. If you like, you can stop a football match when players are reduced to 6.
Okay.
Awesome.
Okay. Because of time, and this is beautiful.
But if you say I should mention 2, 3, 4, 5 players, Haruna Ilerika, JJ Okocha will be there.
No,
Yakubu
no,
Mambo
it's
will be
fine.
there.
It's fine, sir.
Yes.
This is,
Yes.
and we have based it on what happened before 1963,
Yes.
when we know that it's 11 players
Yes.
and 11 players.
Yes.
And that's now at the current AFCON, you can change 5.
Yes.
You know, so evolution has happened to sport.
It's never like that.
So the second thing that we would like to ask you live on air, sir, is not football related.
Okay.
It has to do with music.
Okay.
If you're going to mention the kind of musicians that you like,
Yeah.
foreign or local, preferably local,
Yes.
the kind of songs that you like, and these are the kind of things that we're going to play for you on Monday night here on Boom Radio,
Okay.
because every Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday, from 10:15,
Yes.
we play songs from Pa Ojoge Daniel,
Okay,
and
Ojoge.
that category of music
Ojoge
from
Daniel.
the 40s,
Joel
50s,
Araba,
60s, Araba. All
Baba
of,
Rolling
Yes.
Dollar.
Yes.
All those old.
will you mention for us, sir,
Yes.
about 4 or 5 songs that you love so much and you would love to hear?
I like Onkeresi number one.
Fatai Rolling Dollar.
Yes. Onkeresi number one. Àwọn ọmọdé wọn yìí Keresi number one. I like that. I like Fela. Any Fela.
Any Fela Kuti.
Yes. He's a genius. Yes.
That's 2.
Yeah. Sonny Ade.
KSA, King Sonny Ade.
Yes.
He became king later, he was
Yes,
just Sonny Ade.
Yes, Sonny Ade. And there's Ike Dairo I used to admire in those days. The song that earned him MBE from Queen Elizabeth. So I think
Any of his songs.
Yes. Ike.
And one more to make it 5.
Oh, one more. Tunde Nightingale.
Tanfiani, Ikorodu.
Yes, yes. So,
You are really an Isaliko man.
I love music, because I dance a lot.
We need to come back to talk music, sir. We're definitely bringing you back to talk music. So that's how much we can take. But of course, we said two things and an addendum. And of course, the addendum, of course, is with Yomi or Pakule. We would garnish this. We would make it better. But this is just a symbol, some form of symbolism to show you that we are only starting now and we will go forward.
So Shola has to join me too, because together we're going to present this.
I think you should just do it.
And then toast. I was looking for an opportunity for us to also do.
You can cross cameras to that side. It's fine.
Uncle Segun Adenuga on Boom Radio, Nigeria. The Legend series that we started because of you and it. You are the guest number one.
Number one.
Continue to have.
Thank you very much. This is beautiful.
We celebrate you.
Thank you.
We celebrate you.
Thank you.
Boom Radio and Double Exclusive celebrate.
Thank you, Yomi.
And
Thank
may
you.
God continue to make us see you enjoy.
Amen.
And you see us enjoy.
Yes.
Thank
you very much. I'm grateful.
Where's your white handkerchief? Let me.
Super.
Iyo.
International.
International. All over the world. Please stick on to Boom Radio anytime.
Okay. Thank you very much.
All right. Thank you very much.
Rogers.
Yes, sir.
You are doing a very fine job.
Toast, sir.
Cheers.
Cheers, sir.
Cheers. Thank you very much, sir.
Yes, I will.
Your parting shot, sir, as we go.
Oh, my parting shots. I want Nigerian football to grow. It's not growing. When we see 2-1 victory, then we begin to shout as if we have achieved everything in football. I love football too much. I love boxing as well. But then, it is only sports that is still keeping this country as one. If there is no sport, we will have gone our ways. Either Udua Republic, or Biafra Republic, or Arewa Republic. Then we won't be the same country again. But for sports, no. I think we should try to build on that and then remain one. Otherwise, there won't be basis for one Nigeria.
And for this place?
Yes.
What do you have for this as parting shot?
Oh,
Boom Radio.
the sky is not only the limit for you. It is just a starting point. You are growing in Jesus' mighty name.
Amen.
Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, sir. Yomi Opakule?
My pleasure. I mean, Shola, you've done a great thing. This is historic, and we believe that God will continue because we are starting a series with the legend, and we know that we'll be able to bring legends. And I can assure you, working with Shola Rogers, that we are gender sensitive.
Yes.
So as we bring the men, we bring you the women, and you are going to see that there are facts, there are historic facts to learn from, and there are people we need to continue to celebrate. I celebrate Boom Radio NG. I'm so happy. My boy.
Yes, sir. Your boy is loyal.
My mom.
Mamu Elita.
And the whole Boom Radio NG.
A big shout out to Dolupo Balogun.
Yeah, Dolu, honestly.
It's important.
Yes,
it's important to put this out there because people like Dolupo are rare. You will only find one of them out of maybe 100 million people. I make bold to say it.
True.
And I'm going to say it in our presence. I'm saying it on air.
It's not easy for
Dolupo,
those
God bless you.
who push on
God
with
guide
passion,
you. God keep
even
you.
when materialism is not showing. And in this business,
They are rare.
you have
Very rare.
You have to follow your heart, and I think she follows her heart.
We are playing Ghana in the World Cup.
World Cup qualifier, sir.
Okay. You have to go and spy for us. We must beat Charlie. We must beat them. We have to go to Bali.
Ghana too are not good also.
Yeah.
Then when it comes to Ghana, Nigeria, the two of them will,
It's a derby, so you throw the form out of the window.
I have record, if met about 76 times since 1938, and then Ghana is still having
They have the advantage on us.
advantage.
But that 7-0, let's remove it because we have beat them some high scores too.
We have scored 5 goals against them in 1951 and then again we held them to a draw for the first time in Accra in 1957, 3-3. Nkrumah had to call to ask Nokwapo. It's a Ghanaian name. He said Nokwapo should be a Ghanaian name from Volta region. They discovered it was a Nigerian man. Then I have a record of when we were celebrating in 1960, Ghana came down to beat us at National Stadium 3-0.
Surulere.
For our independence celebration. That was
With that one, we just said let's give them because they are our brothers.
October 9, 1960. And they beat us at Onikontu 4-0 with Salami leading the onslaught.
Salami, who is supposed to be a Nigerian.
Yes.
He scored against us. We'll go and greet them in their house.
And deal with them.
So a lot of that, and then there was a day we were beaten 5-1. And then I remember who scored that long goal, the Bumi Bankole. We call him Atenri in those days at Onola in
Lagos Island.
Yes.
But we have had our days too, beating them. Have you?
Oh,
Yes.
several
Oh, we beat.
I want to go.
Okay. So
I will read out the results and then
we're definitely going to do. We have to do a part two. We have to do a part two because next month we're bringing someone from our mother's side, our sister's side.
Okay.
We're bringing a female Nigerian legend because we also want to let them know that we are gender neutral.
Can you get Modupe Oshikoya?
Definitely.
Yes, we will try.
We would
but
like
before
to get
then,
someone like that.
the person will bring you also keep.
Uncle Segun will be part of it.
Once you see the person we are bringing, you are going to say, "Oh, you guys have done well." Okay. We will continue to do this, and we will continue to do this on a monthly basis, so that you have enough to choose before another month.
Ogukoya,
all of them.
and the rest of them.
All of them.
On that note, we would like to say thank you for watching, thank you for listening. God bless you, God guide you, God keep you, and peace.
Peace, Lagos legend, TNT, all of you.